And we're live!
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Those Aren't Biscuits. I'm one of your hosts, recently suntanned Jonathan Cadotte, and with me as always, the everlasting gobstopper of a human being, Owen Adams. How you doing,
Sorry,
buddy?
I'm just trying to process that particular introduction. Firstly, if you're recently
You can lick Owen
suntanned,
all day and he's never going away.
does that mean you're no longer suntanned? But
I
also,
said recently suntanned.
yeah, as in not anymore.
Recently... No, I was recently tanned. So, I am now tanned as of recently.
Okay. Alright, I'll let you off the
Look,
hook.
just because the language developed in your country doesn't mean you're good at it. Right?
Uh-huh. John, I didn't miss this, John.
I did.
For a minute, I thought I did. And I was like, it's gonna be lovely. My friend has been away. My good buddy, he's been off. We haven't been able to do that lovely show that we do. And I was like, it's gonna be nice to get back to it, catch up with my buddy, my friend. In many ways, my best friend. My best internet podcast friend. of all the many I have.
Right.
And he's gonna come and tell me all the lovely things about his lovely trip, and I'll be nice because I'm always nice. And now I have remembered what things are actually like between us, John, and it's a dark picture.
It's a sad thing.
It's like when you were away was like the first half hour of Requiem for a Dream when everyone sets up their ambitions. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now you're on the electroshock
are you saying that
table.
By the time I got back, you were going ass to ass with someone?
Nah, see, you're doing it again. This is shocking behavior.
Hello everyone, I see you in the chat. We're just still setting up a little bit here, sending out some tweets and whatnot, and I see a lot of people already asking about my trip. We will be getting into that shortly. In fact, I have the link as well. It was good that we both had the link. I'm gonna link something in the chat here. That right there, folks, is a public or shared photo gallery of my trip in Bali. Not all the pictures, I just kind of pick and choose. And so we figured that while I'm going through talking about my trip, we'll give you guys something to look at so you maybe get an idea of some of the things I'm talking about.
Well, your links
And
are
if you
working. Apparently.
Oh no.
I'll try my link.
Really?
You carry on. I'll see if I can get it working.
Alright, you give it a shot, because maybe... Alright, we will do our best to try to get you that gallery, because we thought it'd be nice for you guys to have something to look at. Did I not set up my settings on this right?
See, you shared it with me, and I used that link to share it with me, but I think what you might have to do is make it public. Basically.
Share. Anyone with the link can see these photos, and the people who have been invited and joined. Alright. We will work this out, folks. Just bear with us. What?
It's alright, I'll work on it. You keep narrating. I'll see if I can figure it out.
Okay.
Actually, no, you might have to do that. Let's swap. I'll keep narrating, you figure it out.
Alright.
We can play the game of
see
guessing which person in these pictures is Jonathan. I think I've spotted him. He's working on some piece of wood. Oh, it's a video. Oh, it's a video of Jonathan working on a piece of wood. It's very exciting.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, I mean, it works for me, but I'm also the owner.
Yes.
So,
So John's got his holiday photos, and he's gonna try and share them.
Yes. Okay, well, you know what? I should just get into it.
Oh, I've joined. For some strange reason, I have joined your photo album. Haha! Now I went to Bali too, fuckers.
All right, let's get right into a game, though. All right, let's give people something to look at.
Sinister Minister says, "So, do you ever play Fortnite?" Yeah, we're working on it. Okay, says, kind of busy. The link works here.
Right,
so it works for some people.
All right. So I'm gonna assume it kind of works for everyone now. We got the new link up because there was it looks like there was an old link and a new link. I think the new link is gonna be working.
Well, funnily enough, which link was that? Nah, see, none of the links work for me, and I already have access on that other account.
Right. We will do our best here. All right. But yeah, thank you everyone for asking. I had an absolutely lovely trip to Bali. It was really something else, and it's something that I've noticed since I've been back. You know, a lot of people, like my friends and family, have been asking, like, "Oh, what was it like? What was it like?" And it's something that I've been really kind of struggling to explain, because on one end, like, yeah, I saw a lot of really cool things. I did some fun stuff. I met some people, and that was all really great. But there's something else about the trip and my time there that it's kind of lingering with me more. And it's one of those things where it's really hard to explain. It was just like a completely different way of life. Like, it really felt as if I was like just kind of plucked from my own reality, set aside for a while in this like holding zone that was Bali, to just live my life there for a while, and then get put back into the real universe. That's how different it really was there. It was just a completely different tone to existence, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it was a holiday.
Yeah, it's like, I think it might have to do a lot with like...
I'm only kidding. No, it sounds interesting.
Fuck you. Alright, well, let's just get this started normally. Let's just go to Dusty Depot right away.
Alright. No, I don't think the link is working yet.
Alright. Well, after this
match, we'll try it between games.
Yeah. So, it was... The first thing I really noticed was the pace. Because even, like, I don't live in a metropolitan area or anything like that, but there is something just about being an American, I guess, that makes everything very like high pace and stressful. You know, it's kind of something that's very common in America, where it's everything always you always have to kind of be going, you know, moving, doing something, working, and like even relaxation, like takes like an effort.
Right.
Like you have to plan your relaxation. You have to, you know, you have to set aside time to decompress and relax and you know.
But I was being facetious last time, but isn't that just a factor of being on vacation though? I mean, if you lived in Bali but you were a working full-time in the week you were there.
Well, okay, that's what I wanted to get into though, and it's one of those things I first saw when I was over. First thing I really noticed. I'm
just curious, by the way. I'm not disputing what you're saying. I'm just to clarify.
Okay, so like the example I use is like one of the first times I went to a restaurant there. Over in in the U.S., it's very common to see people. How do I explain this? Like waiters and waitresses, or servers, I guess is the appropriate term.
Tiny Beth Secret says Owen hasn't been on a proper holiday either, though. That's true. I went camping as a kid.
Yeah, that counts. But like, okay, so it's really common to see servers being very much always busy. If they're not serving tables or giving out food or taking orders, and then they're washing off a table, they are wrapping silverware, they are...
I don't know, I think I must be going to worse restaurants than you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, in the U.S., that's very common. Like, you never see servers really kind of just not do anything.
Again,
at least
I think I must be going to worse restaurants than you. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, I'm not sure what you're trying to get at with that, but...
I'm saying I go to cheap, bad restaurants where the waiters hang about doing nothing. Get it? They're lazy.
But you're also not in America. Did you miss the whole modifier, the whole qualifier to that sentence?
No. So here's the joke, John. I'll spell it out. It's been a while since we did a show like this.
I understand what you're saying.
I'm guessing they don't have any humor in Bali either. It's the same here. Restaurants, when they're run well, are busy. But my joke is that in bad restaurants, they don't do that because they're bad.
Fine, whatever.
This is how non-Bali jokes work, John. Don't worry, we'll get it. You'll readjust.
Well, no, but the problem is that you're saying that as if someone who is good at humor, and we know that's not the case.
Ooh, someone's come back from his grand adventure with a little bit of sass.
Oh, the sass never left me. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make, you bastard, is...
No, don't worry. I'm just reminding you what this is like, too.
The thing is, like, I would be at restaurants, and there would be people there, and, you know, decently busy, but as soon as, like, the servers and stuff had realized that, okay, everyone's taken care of, everyone's eating, everyone's sitting down, enjoying food, there was none of this walking up to the table and, how's everything doing? Are you doing okay? Do you need anything else while I'm here? Like, can I do something for you? It's none of that. It was just them kind of like, okay, well, that's all taken care of. We can relax. And they'll, like, lean up against the counter, or they'll have a cigarette, and
yeah, no cleaning tables. No getting people ready, making extra meals. What if your meal isn't okay, John? What if your meal isn't okay? How will you be able to tell someone?
Then you just wave them over. Like,
no, I'm British. I'm not allowed to do that. I have to wait for them to ask.
Oh, God, there's someone here. There's someone here.
Oh, I'm down. No, I'll never go to Bali and have a worse time.
What basically the point I'm trying to get at here, desperately trying to get at, is... Oh, for fuck's sakes. Things were much slower pace, and like everyone from the shop owners to work in restaurant or whatever kind of had this sort of yeah, all right, we'll get it done sort of mentality. And that is so nice. Radically, yeah, and it was like so radically different than what I'm used to, where it's kind of like, we gotta get this done, and this done, and this done, and we gotta get it done now. Let's move on. Oh, we're done. We got nothing to do. Okay, now we're gonna find something to do. We're gonna make work. You know,
maybe they just don't give a shit about tourists.
No, and well, see, that's the thing. They absolutely do care about tourism. I had multiple people explain to me that most people in Bali. Now, once again, this is just from what these people said, you know, and they were speaking for other people, so I don't know if it's 100% true, but they said that people generally really love tourism over there because that is their economy. If the business is not designed to service tourism directly. It's to build the infrastructure to, in turn, service.
Let's do Fatal Fields.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I suppose a lot of little islands are like that, aren't they?
Yeah. And that was actually something I wanted to get into. Was that I was really worried about, because I knew going in that it was a very, very tourist-heavy place, and I was kind of worried, like, how much of, like, the real Bali would I see, or how much of it is going to be this, like, facade.
Right, you get there and it's all big international hotels and restaurants and chains with a flavor of Bali that's very artificial.
Yeah. It became very, very apparent, though, that there are a lot of people here, by the way.
Yeah, there really are.
It became very apparent that Bali has kind of has taken a sort of different approach, where they didn't change their, like, way of life or anything like that to, like, deal with tourism. They kind of made their way of life and of what tourists come to see. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
they made their,
Oh, I'm dead. Good luck, John.
Oh, I got a sniper rifle.
Shoot him then. Oh god, it was Gatsby. Well,
was he great?
Someone's changed his career.
He saw the green light, and the green light meant death.
Yeah, I was gonna make a really specific reference then, but I couldn't think of one, so yeah. I failed.
Oh, yeah.
Hello to Ninth Dimension Gaming. Hello to Sinister Minister. Hello to Fuzzy.
Hello.
How you doing?
Well, while you're dead and I'm still alive, why don't you work on that link? See if we can get that going.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that while I'm watching you go. You're currently watching John. I'm dead, and we'll see what we can do with John's lovely career. Could share it a photo at a time. Og in the chat says John and his Homer Simpson tattoo.
Yeah, I knew that was coming eventually.
Yeah, that's why you don't get popular catchphrases on tattoos.
God, jeez. It's not like, oh, that could have been for something else. What else could it possibly be?
Donuts?
It's actually, those are airport codes.
No, I know.
Yeah. I'm explaining to the chat. It's not all just you, Owen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm the only one here.
Well, no.
They're not real.
You're clearly not.
You have viewers.
I just have 6 other accounts open. I have 6 tabs open on my computer.
Hello to Happy Halo Fish. Hello to Concan 2005. Welcome. John's telling us about his holiday to Bali.
Yeah, so that was the big thing is, you know, oh, God. Ow. Damn it. And I'm dead.
You're lucky I didn't go with my other idea, by the way. I was going to spend the whole podcast pretending I didn't know how to pronounce Bali. I was going to call it Balai every time.
Whatever. I would have just played along at a certain point.
Or Bailorgana. You know, because we're a geek podcast. You could get Star Wars in there somewhere. No, this link isn't working. I guess I don't have permission. I don't think I have permission to generate a strict share link myself, I guess.
Huh. Okay. See, it's weird, because every time I use your link, I can go.
Yeah, but you already have permission, I guess.
Right.
If I go through my own browser... I have it because I already have permission, but if I go through an account where I don't, it doesn't work.
Okay, well, now I need to figure this out.
Fox says, did you try with a private/incognito browser? I had no permission, and I had no problem. Let's try that. Incognito window. Oh yeah, that works. So if you want to see John's pictures, if you make a private window If you're in Google Chrome, you want an incognito window. If you're in Safari, private window. I don't know what it's called on Edge. Probably Microsoft's patented no Snoopy mode.
I think it's just called like in. I think it's just called like in private.
Yeah. They don't call it a mode. It's lame.
I think it's called in private mode.
you can then check John's photos. So yeah, open up a private window first, then check John's photos. It'll be great. And then John will never know how you're looking at his photos. Sneaky, sneaky.
Oh god, I made my whole Google Photos app public. No.
That's John's penis. There it is. Shown to children around the web everywhere. And then he made a photo album of it and put it in the chat.
Oh, and there it is wearing a tie-dye t-shirt. And there it is again wearing a little lei. Because my penis went on vacation too.
Technically your penis is pretty much wearing anything you're wearing, you know?
Sure. Alright, let's get out of our system here. It ain't working?
That's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. Yeah, you pick where we're going.
Let's go Tilted Towers. Let's get out of our system.
Money for nothing and your picks for free. Tilted Towers, yeah, let's die nice and early. And then when people say go to Tilted Towers, we can just be like, we've gone.
Yeah, we've done it.
Tiny Bad Secret says, why don't you just make a PowerPoint? Yeah, and then your photos could have whooshed in from the side, or checkerboard dissolved in. That would have added a touch of class to your Bali photos.
Well, I will let everyone know that I am in actually the process of making a better video of it, of my
Tiny Bad Secret says, oh, can you do it through interpretive dance? Yeah, John, can you do the pictures through interpretive dance?
Oh, shit.
Sure, if you were dancing in the pictures, that would actually be pretty easy.
Yeah.
I have a... Oh, I've got the big gun. Got, like,
Save me!
The elephant gun.
He's just hacking me to death!
Where are you?
Just go to my name.
Alright. Jesus, John, God.
I'm in the same building as you.
Go on one life-changing holiday, and all of a sudden, you suddenly know all about playing Fortnite, don't you? Old Joe Nathan knows what to do. Is he nearby?
Oh, probably.
Okay, when I revive you, run away, because he's right here.
Yep.
Oh, crap! No! Damn you, Lauren Davidson 16! That's right, I'm calling you out on my stream with... Our stream, this is not my stream, with,
yeah, Jesus.
7 people who will remember
one life-changing
you.
holiday, and suddenly Owen thinks he owns it.
One life-changing holiday, your life's all changed! Hello to Amex Gamers, how you doing?
I got a Battle Pass tier up. I knew...
Tiny Bad Secret says there was no holiday, just learning how to be better at Fortnite than you. You think he actually went to boot camp? To Fortnite boot camp? In Bali?
Yeah, there's still all those pictures from other people.
Well, where all the greatest Fortnite players are trained. They actually have a replica of the island and a battle bus. The only way to learn is to really be on the ground.
But, yeah, it just, so, I guess, that was the first thing I noticed was the difference. Other thing is how very compact everything is. It was just kind of one of those things where it felt like when they're designing their roads, it was kind of like, okay, what's the average size of a car? Let's make it 2 inches bigger, you know? And then we're gonna.
America famously has very big roads, though.
Yes,
like everyone I know who goes to America says that the roads are ridiculously big.
Yeah, they're very, very.
Let's go to Shifty Shafts.
Okay.
So I'm saying
that
that
was
probably
another
wouldn't be something I would think if I was there. Do you know what I mean?
Right, but there's also this thing where they try to cram as many little shops and restaurants and whatever into every little space that they can. Like if you are in a populated area at all, it's just places you can walk into as far as the eye can see. And it's still very odd to me, you know, because you know, there's shops and stuff here, of course, but it's kind of like, okay, well, all the shops are in this little section of town or in this neighborhood. There it's like, oh, we got some free space here, put a shop in.
Tiny Bit Secret says, John hasn't been to Blackpool before, huh? Or New York comes to that. Well, I couldn't spoke for New York, but yes, Blackpool is like that. But that's because it's Blackpool's a seaside town, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like that, but it is just one town.
And, like, New York, like, what you see on TV, you know, there's always a lot of shops and stuff like that, but what you don't see is there's very large, just neighborhoods where there's no commerce at all, except for maybe like a corner store. Here I was in residential areas, and still there was shops everywhere, or little food places, just anything they can throw in there to try to draw some people in and buy something.
What you don't realize is that John spent all his holiday accidentally wandering into people's houses, bartering for their belongings. You're like, this is a shop, right? Your house is a shop, yeah? Yeah? Can I buy your kids? How much for the kids?
You know what? It's funny that you mentioned that.
You're about to tell me that happened, aren't you?
No, not exactly.
Not exactly. We're about to hear a story where exactly that happened.
No, you're not. Quit predicting things. You're bad at it. What happened? Actually,
if you listen carefully, you can hear John quickly rewriting his story.
Just cross out that word. Remove residence with commerce.
Shop. And the man said, "Hey, what are you doing in my child's bedroom? Get out of my shop."
So what happened was when I got there, and the thing is, I knew this was coming, and I was going to prepare more for it, but I completely forgot. I forgot to buy adapters for my chargers, and the outlets are different. They, you know, US has like the two flat prongs with little holes at the end of it. Their outlets over there were these two rounded prongs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And so, you know, of course, all my outlets or my chargers weren't going to work in the outlets. So I'm like, oh crap! Well, I need to do something. So I would
imagine Barley's not like a standard adapter you're going to pick up at any store. Like here, you can get a travel adapter for anywhere, but it's like your standard like hotel shaver fitting, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I can't just go into my local supermarket and buy the Barley plug.
Right. And what I intended to do was, you know, look up, you know, what I was going to need. Yeah, I'm taking the. Oh, I took the. You can take that. I have one.
Oh, I have one too. I just thought it might be different, but no. Oh, it's better than the thing I replaced it with.
Right. So I was just gonna go online and, you know, look up, okay, what kind of charger am I gonna need for this, and just buy one of those. But I forgot. So when I get there, I'm like, oh shit, I don't have a charger. My phone's dead. My tablet's dead. Like I gotta figure out something. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll check the, you know, the little mini marts, you know, the little corner stores. You know, surely they have one. And so I go to a couple trying to find one, and none of them have one. They have like these adapters that you can plug into the wall, which has all the different, things you need, but it doesn't actually have American. That was the thing I noticed. Like they had all the other ones, just not American. Which is fine because from what I understand, America uses a really dumb one. Even though we're the pioneers of home electricity, everyone else had to go off and do something new.
Well, I hear that's to do with the difficulty of standardizing a country across all the states, right? Like, once you get one standard to stick, switching it to another one's pretty tricky.
Right.
You guys don't even have, like, a standard grounded plug, do you, right? Still, if I remember rightly? Like, in Britain, we have 3-pin plugs. Your third pin is your earth. So you get your positive, your negative, and then your earth for safety. You guys don't have those, right?
It depends on the size. It depends on the size of the appliance. If it's a device that requires a lot of electricity to run, it will have one. It'll have that third prong. But if
so, the outlets do have.
Yes, all the outlets do have a third hole for the most part. Some don't. Depending on where it is, like some kitchen outlets won't have one because they don't expect you to plug in,
See, some things here
high-powered thing into it.
We have some things here that technically only use 2 pins, but they still have to have 3 pins, even if the third pins are fake, because our plugs are actually shuttered, and the third pin's longer, and that third pin opens the shutters, so you can't jam a fork in there, That's not remotely relevant, but, well, just as a tangent, because it's interesting, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, I have to figure something out. So I go into this mini-mart, and I ask the guy, I'm like, hey, do you got any chargers? And, there was a bit
that's
of
me.
a... Oh,
don't worry, that's me. That's me.
Okay.
My fault. I actually just squeezed...
There wasn't really much of a barrier of language, because pretty much everyone I ran into had some knowledge of English.
Right.
It was a varying degrees of comfort with it. I noticed. Right. Like some people, everyone kind of knew the words, but some people knew how to use them better, I guess.
I guess with a touristy place, that kind of makes sense.
Right. And
oh wow, we're pretty close. Okay.
Let's go back the other way. So I go in there and I ask him for a charger, and he shows me the adapters first. I'm like, no, I need the actual thing that plugs into your phone. And all of a sudden he grabs his personal one that he had, behind the counter, and he's like, oh, you need a charger? And he goes, 90. And it took me a second to kind of realize what he was asking. And I'm like, your charger? And, it's like, oh, okay. 80. I'm like, oh, crap, he's trying to sell me his personal charger.
And then he thinks that that's a problem for you. So you're like, oh, what, so secondhand?
Well, yeah, because when he hears it, he's like, oh, okay, and he lowered the price. He goes, like, okay, 70. And I'm like, and so I'm like trying to follow along, so I repeat after him, like, 70? He goes, okay, 60. I'm like, no, that's fine, yes.
And he goes with family and says, sorry, kids, we're not eating tonight. Some rich American prick didn't want to pay for the only charger in the whole of Bali.
You're a racist.
No! I would have, no!
You just assumed that he was poor.
No, but
and not just...
that was a haggling joke. Buck. You're a bad man.
It sounds like, oh, that's the only way he can make it is if he sold that charger to me.
There's a good question in the chat, which is no USB. Yeah, couldn't you just get a USB charger? Doesn't your phone have a USB plug?
Yes, but I still need something to deliver energy to that.
Sure, but surely they would have had a USB power adapter there that didn't require an American plug socket, right?
I imagine it probably existed, but where I was, the only power adapters that I could find were one outlet to a different outlet type. It wasn't just an outlet to a USB hole that I could plug into.
Okay, but what is the connection on your phone?
A mini USB.
So it was easier in Bali to find like a non-removable mini USB charger that was all one unit than it was to find. I'm not doubting it, I'm just interested. It was easier to find like a complete power adapter unit that you couldn't separate cable from plug than it was to find a separate plug and power block.
Well, that's the thing. I needed the power block. Like, I needed the power block to go into the outlet that I could run a USB cord from to my phone.
Okay, so you were just trying to buy the power block from this guy. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
And that was the, like, and they weren't that common?
Not where I was looking at.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing it with you. I just think it's interesting. It's an interesting difference. Because here you can, you know what I mean? You can get those anywhere.
Right, and here too. And that's why I was kind of like, whoa, really?
Okay, I got a minigun if that's useful.
Ooh, kind of want this burst assault rifle.
Terrible things have happened here.
Yeah,
apparently. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So he sold you his charger.
Yeah. And that was like my first day.
And he's like, little do you know, if you drive out of town, there's a supermarket just full of them.
Oh, I'm sure there were. I'm sure there were. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think that they are a scarce item. It's just the location I was in.
Yeah, you were near the touristy shops where you pay more to get the essentials you need because the big budget stores are where people live and the tourists don't go as much. I'm guessing. Like anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, we got some action right here. Should we just follow this guy? Yeah, let's just follow him. Kill him.
Where is he?
Up this.
Okay, I'm coming.
Kill Owen!
No! I'm dead. Kill him, they can revive me.
Oh god, there's someone behind me!
Isn't it me?
Who took that shot? I don't know.
Oh!
Oh,
you
there's a sniper.
Damn it! That was going well.
Yeah.
For a bit.
Yeah, I got a kill. So yeah, that was like my first like experience with other people there. Was accidentally haggling for this guy's phone charger. And I felt bad because I would have just paid him the first price because it wasn't a lot of money.
So how much is 90? Tiny Bit Secret in the chat says that's $5. That's a cheap adapter. Yeah, how much is 90?
Yeah.
What currency do they use in Bali?
IDR. Indonesian rupiah.
Okay, and so how much is 90 IDR?
Well, $1 is 13,000, I think.
So he wanted 90,000, not 90.
Yeah. Well, they always just say like 90 or 100,
as you would,
something like that. But they just count in thousands. So like, if someone says
so it was 90,000 IDR.
Yeah. Like
which
to
would
give
be
you an
about
example,
so that's what he wanted to begin with. So 60 would be about $7-8.
Yeah, something around there. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go to this haunted hills. I don't think I've ever been here.
Yeah, all right. Set a tracker off.
Yep, I sent. And I jumped.
Whee!
So, and okay, that was another thing that was kind of really weird for me. I had a little bit of a moment. So I'm at the airport. I just landed. I'm like, okay, well, I gotta convert some cash over. And everyone, you know, everything I read says the best place to convert cash is at the airport. You'll get the best rates. So I'm like, okay. So I go to change my money. I'm like, okay, well, I brought about $1,000 US with me. I'm not gonna convert it all right away. So I was like, okay, I'll do half. So I convert 500. The guy goes, okay. He runs the math, and he's like, all right. That comes out to 6.3 million. I was like, oh wow. And so for my time over there in Bali, I got to legitimately say that I was a millionaire.
And they were like, so what?
Weird.
We're all millionaires.
Like, ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. My next paycheck, I'll be a millionaire. You know.
Larry over there's a quadrillionaire. Bow to Larry.
But yeah, so that was kind of fun. I was just, for a moment I got to just, even though in the back of my head I knew what it meant, it was kind of fun just, sitting there for a little bit going, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. This is awesome.
Oh, there's a chest in here.
Yeah, I can hear it. I just don't know how to get to it.
Are we talking about the same chest? I'm outside in the barn.
Oh, I see how I gotta get to it. Alright, I gotta...
Ooh, purple minigun.
Nice. Alright, I just gotta tear down a wall there.
Tiny Beth Secret says, the other week I had to buy a normal charger at a train station and I couldn't find one for less than £20.
Wow. That seems very expensive to me.
To be fair, that's a train station, though.
Yeah.
That's like buying stuff at the airport.
Right. Oh, that's another thing, too, alright? Airports. It's really easy to tell just how more rich a country is depending on the shops at the airport, right? So I left from Chicago, and they have, all the shops where O'Hare Airport is basically like, they have like their own little mall in there.
Right.
And I got some time to kill, so I wander around the shops a little bit, and it's your standard fare. Little clothing stores, a Victoria's Secret, like a Cinnabon, just your normal fucking mall stuff. All right. Now I land in Qatar, and I have a little bit of time to spare, so I wander around their little shop area, and it's nothing but Gucci, Rolex, Givenchy, shit like that, right? And it's just like, that was just like their normal fucking mall. I just see like, these like teenage kids just kind of wandering around in their airport mall at the Gucci store and the Lacoste polo shirt place, and I was like, Jesus Christ, like, this is ridiculous. Like, so apparently Qatar, very rich country. Oh, was that you?
Yeah. There's a chest here.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay, what do you want? Purple grenade launch? Sorry, purple minigun or gold grenade launcher?
I'll take the grenade launcher.
Okay, well come up here then. Come find me.
All right. Well, I can't. You blocked the way in with your stairs.
Just dig it. It's all right. I've got the chest this time.
Oh God, Owen! I'm down.
Okay.
Underneath you. Underneath you.
Well, that went well. I should just waited for them to get... I thought maybe I'd rescue you if I just dug through the floor with my gun.
I literally tore down your stairs, and they were just standing on the other side, just, hello. I'm like, oh, God.
I should have just let you die, to be honest. Sorry.
Wow.
Tiny Beth Secret says, did anyone else notice Victoria's Secret was the first place he mentioned?
It was the first store that kind of, like, I figured would be in
Sure.
all malls. Jesus. Okay, I'm sorry that I appreciate half-naked women in bras and panties. Okay, I'm sorry. Ooh, a big, misogynistic pig over here. Sorry. Not like that's the whole point of the fucking store.
Well, that went even better than I could possibly have imagined. One day, you poke the pig with a stick and get exactly what you hoped for.
What? I'm not wrong.
It continues, everyone.
What? No, the stuff they sell at Victoria's Secret proper, all right, is designed for attraction. I'm not saying just to men. It's just attraction. None of that stuff
You
is
are
like.
welcome, everybody. You are welcome.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell
Listeners
me
at
I'm
home.
wrong that anything they sell is not designed for attraction. That stuff can't be comfortable. It can. That's what that pink side store is for. They have all the pink stuff, which is all the comfortable stuff, and then Victoria's Secret proper that has all the stuff that's not comfortable.
Oh, I'm so glad I read that comment out. It's great. I don't know where you're going, by the way, John. I've gone somewhere completely different.
Yeah, I'm done with you, Owen. I'm done. I'm breaking up the band.
Oh, I've missed this. So, aside from quirky little travel problems that everyone gets everywhere, tell me about Bali, man. Tell me about the island. Tell me about the life there, other than it being slow. Which I think might be a borderline insult to the lovely people of Bali, but...
Yes, I got 2 kills. Yay.
Oh, wow, well done.
Yeah. Okay, everything's very open. And I mean that, like, they're actual, like, buildings. They're, other than actual homes, there weren't really any front doors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, everything was just kind of walk in and out. Okay, actually, the one front door that I saw was for a silversmith's, like, showroom.
Well, that makes sense. You don't want that to just be open.
Right. It's a really cool door. I put pictures in that gallery, so if you guys can make it into that.
That's my favorite John comment ever. It was a really cool door.
It was. It was a really neat door.
How'd you like your holiday, John? I saw an awesome door. It was life-changing.
If you saw the door, it's cool.
I imagine your first day.
Look at the damn door.
Your first day seeing the ocean was like, well, this is nice and wet and stuff, but man, I gotta get another look at that door before we leave.
Right? It's no door.
It's no door.
The ocean is vast and beautiful and wonderful. If only had a door.
A nice door. Pretty awesome door.
I'm running to
Not just
you,
any
and there's
door.
a guy. There's a guy taking shots at me with a sniper rifle, but he's missing really bad. But I can hear the whizzing going past my head.
Yeah. Well, I've got a purple assault rifle and some bandages and a health kit.
I could really use some bandages.
Sorry, not bandages, a health kit. Yeah. Well, how far away are you?
We're not too far. I can see you on the map.
Nice. Okay, well, if you just head over this ridge, I'll stay here behind where we're safe.
Yeah.
And I'll drop you the,
So, yeah, that was kind of a thing where everything was kind of just, walk in and out.
It,
like,
so
I walk into this store.
Hey, how you doing?
You walk into this store, you walk out of it, you walk into the next one. You walk into all the bars and restaurants were open.
Well, it's pretty hot there, right?
It averaged about 85 Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is Celsius exactly, but it was warm, not ungodly hot. Weather there was kind of weird. It was very temperamental. Like, you'd wake up in the morning and it'd be overcast, and then an hour later it'd be beautiful sunshine, not cloud in the sky. Like 2 hours later it would downpour for like 15 minutes, and then a half hour after that it would just be beautiful again. It was very much just roll with it.
Right.
All right, well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, that's obviously a very different climate, but that's islands, isn't it? Because Britain is like that.
Yeah.
And when I lived on a small island, even more so.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I'm sure Bali is very different. I'd love to go. I mean,
And I think you should, because it is not an expensive trip.
Gotta get a passport first.
Can't be that hard.
Oh, I know.
I imagine
but,
it was probably actually harder for me than it was for you.
But so how about people? Did you meet any interesting people?
Yes, I did. I did.
Oh, and you said that like there was one specific person you need to tell us about. So about this lawsuit I'm now embroiled in.
No, I did meet a woman over there. Who
Was she a local or a tourist?
Okay, so she was more from mainland Indonesia, and she was actually there scouting out office space. Oh god, there's someone here.
Is that partner still around?
I don't know.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
I'm down. I'm down.
Oh my God.
He's jumping. Where the hell are you, John?
I'm right here.
He's jumping.
Oh, I see him.
Damn it, Jonathan.
Fuck you. Wow, one hell of a shot.
All right, Tron. Rein it in.
But, I did meet her.
Tiny Bit Secret says, I legit expected him to say she was scoping out a husband.
No, she was a computer programmer from mainland, and she was moving to Bali at the behest of her employer. So
he's like a nerd
yeah,
magnet, aren't you? You track the nerds.
Well, you know what they like.
Yeah, other nerds.
Right. No, we had some drinks. We walked around a little bit. We went to the beach at sunset and watched the sunset on the beach.
Aww.
Nice. We went and ate.
I'm not equipped to deal with such wholesome stories, Jonathan. I need something cynical and heartbreaking.
We had a lovely goodbye kiss as she hopped into a cab and left.
Aww.
Yes.
Oh, it's all so wholesome. I hate it. Come on, talk about something terrible. We can't make fun of that. It's too nice.
Exactly, and that's how it will stay. It was a very, very beautiful moment.
And then as you left, she got on the radio and she was like, I've got the sample, and you are now the source of an Indonesian cloning experiment that will lead to centuries of darkness on planet Earth. There we go.
Yeah, well, Tomato Town?
And then, as the apocalypse comes and thousands of genetically engineered Bali Indonesian soldiers with your face roam over the Earth, you'll be thinking of that kiss. You'll be like, worth it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was a great night. That was a really, really amazing night. Yeah. And I pledge my fealty to my new overlords. But man, that was a nice night.
This comment! This is an amazing comment.
Okay. Read it.
It's just... Like, I'm really enjoying hearing about your holiday, right? But this is completely unprompted in the chat, right? It just, from Sinister Minister, it just says, my stories are boring too.
Wow!
It's sort of like an attack that implicitly assumes we're all on the same page here, you know? Don't worry, man. I feel you. I also fail at telling interesting stories. And you're like, what? I didn't say that.
Well, no,
I'm liking your stories, John. I might make fun, but I'm just trying to keep you, you know, fresh.
Right.
But,
yeah.
But Sinister Minister, sir, that is an unwarranted attack on this harmless, boring individual.
I'm sorry, when was the last time you guys went halfway around the world by yourself on a whim?
You make it sound like it's your first trip to the shops. I went by myself. My mommy didn't come with me at all. Was it nerve-wracking, traveling alone? Did you ever feel a bit like
no,
your
honestly.
Horizons had been broadened too much?
I'm down. No, honestly, I never really got nervous or anything like that. The only times I really kind of had any sort of anxiety was at airports. Because it'd be the one thing that you would expect to be sort of standardized across, borders, but they're not.
Right.
They all act very differently, and it's all very kind of rush. They're always trying to get you going, keep you moving through lines, which is fine. Like, I understand it. But when you're trying to work out a language difference, when you're going through a different protocol than you did at the last airport, and then try to do it quickly, it is a little nerve-wracking, I will say. That part is. But the actual just being in other countries didn't bother me at all. None of that really affected me. I tried my best just to adapt and copy what I saw other people doing as best as I could.
I'm just imagining you copying all these things that are like idiosyncratic quirks, like, so when we go through here, we gotta hop on one leg. Like, is he making fun of Steve? Steve lost that leg in the war!
Like, oh, I get it. I have to talk with a lisp.
Tiny Bit Secret says, I want to know about the hotel.
The hotel. The hotel was very nice. I don't know. Like, I purposely went for a cheaper hotel because I don't quite understand people who go on trips and spend a ton of money on their hotel. Because for me, like, that's just a place where I sleep. That's not an attraction for me at all. Like, I don't want to spend any unnecessary time there, and I don't want to spend any unnecessary money. That being said, I got a cheap hotel that was still fucking amazing. Like, the bed was super comfortable. There was a spa built in where I got myself a massage. They had a bar and restaurant built into it, which was very nice, and they served like a nightly buffet, which I didn't eat at, but it looked good. Yeah, it had this really cool pool that was like built in the center of the hotel that you could look down on from all your windows. And
that sounds nice.
They had like, yeah, and they illuminated it with like these blue like lights from underneath. So it just looked like the pool itself was just a blue glowing pool.
Oasis will shrink faster.
The one thing I didn't care for was like their check-in and out times. Their checkout time was at noon, but their check-in time was at 2:30 in the afternoon. So during your stay, you actually lose 2.5 hours. You don't, which kind of sucked. And like when I got there, when I flew in, I actually arrived at like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I took a taxi right to the hotel, hoping like, okay, well, it'll be early, but surely I can still get in. Like I've checked in early at places before. Nope, they were not having it. But the one nice thing they did is that they agreed to hang on to your bags. Once you confirmed your reservation, like, okay, well, you can't actually get into your room till 2:30, but we'll hang on to your bags for you. So that was nice. I was able to give them my bags, and I could still walk about and
you get back an hour later, they're like, where are my bags? We sold them. You gave us the bags. Thank you. They're just wearing all your clothes.
Yeah. Someone haggled for them. He came in asking for a phone charger, and we gave him your bags.
He was like, okay, well, I did want a charger, but maybe for 60. The bags? Sure.
Yeah. So that was all very nice. Yeah, it was very hard to find things that I didn't like. Okay, the one thing I didn't like, all right, is traffic there, right?
Controversial.
Well, okay, so here's the thing, like, U.S. traffic and driving U.S. is incredibly regulated, right?
Right.
Everyone has their lane. There's a strict procedure that you're supposed to engage in to switch lanes. There is speed limits. There are, everyone drives in a single file line within your lane, everything like that, right? Their driving seems to be based on one simple principle, which is, go for it. and the scooters or the little motorbikes outnumber cars easily 30-1. There's just these hordes of scooters going everywhere. And now here's the thing, which I learned. Their, accident protocol is very different than here in the U.S. If you get into an accident here in the U.S., if it's bad enough, the cops will run a little investigation, determine who's at fault. Whoever's at fault is now liable for payment, and everything like that.
Right.
There, accidents are based on a simple principle. Whoever is bigger is at fault. So if a car slams into a scooter, the car is immediately at fault.
That's interesting. I can see some value to that.
Yeah, and so can I. Welcome back, Savannah.
Maybe not necessarily in all situations. You wouldn't want it to be the iron rule, but it kind of makes sense.
Right. So, but what that leads to is these scooters basically do whatever the fuck they want. I saw them hop up on sidewalks to get around little jams. They'll weave their way around traffic. If everything's at a stop, they'll cut out in front of other cars.
And there must be a race to the bottom to get the smallest vehicle.
Right.
Everyone's on, in 10 years, they'll all be on petrol-powered roller skates.
I did get hit 3 times with a scooter.
Oh, shit. I don't think they know where I am yet. I'm just hiding here for a little bit.
I got kind of used to...
You actually got hit hard?
Well, no, not really. I got used to getting, the back of my arm being smoked by a mirror, Which, not pleasant, but it's not oh God, and I drop down or anything like that. It's just kind of alright, well, that sucked.
That would be a really, really tragic but also sort of perfect end to your life if you got killed on holiday to Bali by a scooter. That would be
wow, Owen, that is incredibly dark.
It just would have been interesting if you'd spent the whole time just being yeah, I'm gonna go to Bali, and then you got killed by a tiny vehicle on holiday.
Mm-hmm.
You left America where they have the huge cars and the guns and stuff like that, and then got killed by a Lambretta.
A little Vespa.
I'd kind of love that.
Thanks, Owen. Thanks. I'm glad that you would love my death somehow. Yeah! Get him! Get him, Owen! Now get out of there! Someone's shooting at you.
Run! Shit!
Aww.
No! Well, I got 1 kill before I got out of there. I should have turned the grenade launcher on him. Oh well, that went well.
So, okay, so I'm gonna move on
I'm
to some
not
of
saying I would enjoy your death. No, I need to clarify this. I'm not saying I would enjoy your death or be happy if you died. I'm saying, of all the ways... Because we've all got to go.
Sure.
Killed by a Lambretta on holiday would at least be some comedy material for the podcast.
Oh, are you just gonna do it by yourself, or you plan on replacing me upon my death? It's Dan, isn't it? It's Dan.
No, I just get the Lambretta. So what do you think, Lambretta, that killed John? It worked for me. Hey, it is a classic of Italian design.
That's how I refer to it every time. It's how about you, Libretta, that killed Jonathan?
Yeah. And I'd still make it do the intro. And we're live! Hello!
I'm doing pretty well. I read some manga.
No, he's not a fan. Lambretta that killed Jonathan with his hatred of Japan.
How about Salty Springs?
I gotta say, John, this already sounds like a better show than the one we're doing now.
Wow.
Alright, okay.
I think there's some jealousy going on here. Like,
Can you
mad
hold on. Well, I mean that's a given, but can you honestly say you can think of a better death for the podcast? Of you for this show?
Hermit crab.
Alright. No, you got me.
Yeah.
No, fine. I will pass it over to you then, right? If you had to pick a way for me to die in a way that you think would make the best material for the show, what would you choose? Oh yeah, I'll give you your moment to take vengeance.
A brutal death that interrupts your sentence. You are mid-sentence, and then just like a bear out of nowhere mauls you to death.
And all you can hear is just John going, "Finally! See how you like it!
Yes!
Took me 6 months to train that bear."
I mean, wild bears. What a bitch. Whoa, what is... Oh,
have you seen that trailer for Christopher Robin? I suppose you've been in Bali.
It's kind of terrifying.
Do they have movie trailers in Bali?
Yeah. I
that was a
watched
joke.
A ton of movies on the flight. I watched... God, what did I watch? Fuck. I watched Justice League. I watched Thor Ragnarok. I watched Murder on the Orient Express. I'm coming, Owen!
He's coming through the wall. He's coming through the wall. We're gonna die. Careful, there's two people up here.
I'm not gonna get there in time.
I can tell.
Oh, God.
So,
I saw, and I watched, I just want to spend a small amount of time on this. I really don't want to go far into it. I watched a movie called The Trip.
You don't believe how angry he was about this.
This movie was god-awful. It was so
What didn't you like
bad.
about it? I watched the first episode because The Trip is technically it's a TV show edited into a movie, and I watched the first episode, and I quite liked it. But that was a while ago.
Boring. It wasn't funny. As much as it desperately tried to be funny, it was not funny. I can collect rewards. Hold on, I'm ready. What did I collect? What did I collect? Okay.
Sinister Menace says, "Did you see any Indian movies?" I think Sinister Menace is a bit confused about where Bali is. Indonesia is not in India. Just
no.
To clarify.
I will say though that one of the prevailing religions in Indonesia is Hindu, but it is not India.
Okay. So a minute ago, you were calling me racist. I say a minute, like 45 minutes. Just because that's got no connection. Just because they're Hindus doesn't mean they're somehow more likely to be, that means they're somehow semi-Indian.
What I'm referring to
Sinister Minister says, "Oh, that Bali." What? As opposed to the other Bali?
No, what I'm trying to get at is okay, it was something I was going to touch on later. But faith and I saw some religious practices going on. The clothing and the garb that they wore for the ceremony
He dropped to his knees and
similar.
said, "I'm in India! How did this happen?"
Anarchy Acres. Let's go.
Do it.
So, yeah. Alright, that's what I meant.
So just to briefly make this a little bit like a normal episode of our show. How was Justice League? Because I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, this is what I want to say. I will touch on this briefly, and I think I can kind of get this across in just a few sentences. As a universe-expanding film,
like the Avengers.
Yes, it fails on every level. Nothing about it makes sense. It just doesn't work in that sense. Because it's like, they try to spend this time...
That's pretty in keeping, isn't it? To be fair.
Yeah, well, because they try to spend this time, like, developing relationships between the characters and, like, sort of backstories and how, like, Steppenwolf ties into the mythology as a whole.
I still can't hear the name Steppenwolf, even prior to him being the villain, without... like,
come on!
I like to
Magic copper! Yeah.
Right between my sound machines. I wish they just had him sing that. Then we could have got over that. Right. I mean, I haven't seen it, so maybe he does, but I'm guessing not.
Now, forgetting all the little build-up where they're introducing characters like The Flash and Cyborg, the movie as a whole feels very much like an episode of the Justice League cartoon.
Oh, well, that's okay. I liked that show.
Right.
I liked it enough.
And it actually works really well as that. I'm not kidding. It works really well as this kind of like... If you just imagine that the team is already established and they've known each other for a very long time, then it really is just a case of like the cartoon where they quickly introduce a villain, establish what the stakes are, and then the team works together somehow to figure it out.
When you describe it, it sounds like the best one since Wonder Woman. Oh shit! Oh God! Oh no! Oh, I'm running into them! Oh, this is not going well for me.
No,
sorry, Jen. Carry on.
It is the best one since Wonder Woman, by far. I actually rather enjoyed it once I kind of decided, like, okay, you know what? I don't care about the DCU as a thing. I'm just going to try and enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
And,
like, I kind of wish they'd just let Dini make live-action movies that just assume... Like, I've said for a long time, we need to get away from this idea that we always need to establish those characters and just go, we're just making a Batman movie, and we're just going to assume everyone knows who Batman is. Do you know what I mean? Which is actually the one thing that works about Batman vs. Superman, right? You know what I mean? Because Batman vs. Superman's Batman makes all kind of references to Batman. You wouldn't have got a reference to the Penguin in any of the Nolan movies. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But Batman vs. Superman, they just have a Batman, they reference the Penguin, and they just assume you're going to know who he is. We need more movies like that.
They reference the Penguin, and they reference the Penguin in this one as well.
Oh, do you know, I might be thinking of this one. I haven't seen Justice League, but I think maybe I've just seen a clip of that, and I'm thinking of the same one. But do you know what I mean?
Fighting Steppenwolf, and Alfred goes, like, oh, remember when the worst thing you had to think about were wind up exploding ducks?
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. But that was basically what they did with Batman in Batman vs. Superman, and I think generally people are agreed Batman in Batman vs. Superman is like the strongest bit. Right? Mm-hmm. And he's terrible, but he's the strongest bit.
Alright, this is what I'll say about Justice League, because I don't think it's any spoiler. Superman comes back. Right? Yeah. And funny enough, they actually use a method very similar to how they do it in the comics.
What, the Eradicator? The Kryptonian rejuvenation matrix?
That.
Yeah, I thought they probably would.
And,
because...
They use that.
Because a Kryptonian rejuvenation matrix is essentially the technology they use to make Doomsday in Batman vs. Superman, isn't it? Essentially?
Right, yeah.
Is it that?
You pick. Yes, actually. but they set up enough. Okay. But they set up enough contrivances to make it so like the whole team has to work together to make this thing work. Which was kind of interesting. And that was something that I thought was really, really cool about the movie, is they really go out of their way. Some of it definitely feels like forced, but they really go out of the way to make sure that every character comes off as being, one, necessary, and two, helpful.
Wouldn't it be great if Superman just came back like brain damaged? Like,
he kind of does.
But I mean, like, really brain damaged.
Oh yeah, no,
like amygdala from Batman. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And while all the fight's going on, Alfred's just feeding him stewed pears. No. He's got a little bib and a little glazed expression on his face. Come on, Clocky, go fly. I like that.
Yeah. Oh god, I'm gonna die.
Oh, there are people down here?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. No, I'm down.
Oh, I'm still gliding, John.
How?
Oh, hello. Stay alive, Jonathan!
I'm trying. There's a big gunfight going on around me.
I thought I'd try it. Why the hell? Why the hell not? Let's give it a go. Hello to Gregory Herney, who says, what are you talking about? John's trip to Bali and the movie Justice League, which I'm going to conflate in my mind. And I'm going to now imagine there's a scene where the Flash haggles for someone's charger. Gotta go fast.
Okay, so back to Bali, alright? We can talk more about Justice League when you see
back to reality.
Alright, so I want to talk about some of the things I saw. Some interesting things I saw. Okay, one, since we mentioned already, I'll bring it up. Faith and religion.
Did you see the rains down in Africa?
No, I didn't. Sorry. Wrong Bali.
Oh.
See, that was the Bali that Sinister Minister was talking about.
Wasn't that the rains down in India?
Well, I mean, it was, the rains down in Indiana. Bali, Indiana. Yeah, kind of weird. Okay, so Faith was kind of an interesting thing to see there. Because, like, over here in the U.S., even though religion is very prevalent and, there's a lot of decisions based on religious morality, the actual, like, practices are, let's go to Dusty Depot.
Alright, let's do it.
The loaves of bread. The actual practices are very separate. They're all done in these, churches. They're, hold off from everything else. It's like, religion's a very private thing, like here in the U.S. There, it's kind of, like, their religion is very much just, or like what I saw, is very much just, like, a practice of life. Like how they just, live, just how they live. It's like, okay, well, it's just part of our day-to-day. Like, for instance, everywhere you went, there was these little, like, cardboard boxes. Very, very small, like, cardboard trays. And in each tray was, like, flowers and coins and 2 incense sticks. And they were everywhere. Just absolutely everywhere. And,
Are you going to tell me you'd emptied all the coins for everyone you'd seen for about 3 days before someone told you it was a religious...
It's like, oh shit, I thought that was just something for everyone. I thought everyone was just really friendly.
Coins and flower petals just leaking out of your pockets everywhere you go. Everyone giving you dirty looks. What? What? Is there a hole in my pocket?
Not my fault I got here first.
Hey, it's my take a penny, leave a miracle system. I just what?
But it was just, it was neat. It was just kind of neat to see it, like, you know, and like everywhere you went, you just smelled the scent of burning incense. Which, I mean, I'm not a huge incense burner. You know, I don't necessarily get into it very
100 feet tall, burning incense as far as the eye can see.
Christ.
It's the huge incense burner.
Yes, my incense is a redwood tree.
My holder is made of small, fancy ceramic, but
it's
million
a VW
feet tall.
microbus.
I thought it was a while since we did one of those.
Yeah.
I'd completely forgotten about it, but then the other week you tried to head me off and reminded me that I used to do that. So I'm going to do it forever now.
Yeah. So it was kind of it added to how different life was there, because everywhere you went, you just constantly smelled incense burning and flowers, and it was very nice. It was actually very pleasant. Even though I'm not necessarily a fan of burning incense on my own. That just me running around?
No, listen, can you hear that? Oh, do you know what? It might actually just be your mic picking up background noise.
Oh, yeah. There's a jet flying over right now. So yeah. And then okay. So the other thing is that this was kind of a big thing over there that really dictated a lot of my trip. I didn't realize that I had actually scheduled my trip in like concordance with how it was described to me as kind of like the Bali New Year's,
right?
Which coincided, or not coincided, which culminated in this day called I can never pronounce it right, and I apologize if there's anyone in here who knows what I'm talking about. But it was a day called Niepi. N-Y-E-P-I, which is a day of silence. And this was, and I'm kind of sad. I wish I could have had a few more days so I could have seen
John's just
this.
walking through town. Do 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 do. La 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 la.
Okay, so
quiet out today.
Let me explain. Owen.
Oh, I say, can you see? Sorry, I'm just
terrible human being.
I'm just enjoying.
I hope you never actually go to watch like a taping of like a TED Talk, and they're like this is amazing advancement, you know, really huge in the world of science. 60 feet tall, just whistling down the street. Do 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 do. Sir,
But when you say it like that, it makes it sound so awesome. Like, I hadn't even thought of going to a TED Talk. Now I can't think of anything else.
Going to, like, your future child's graduation or something like that. Just... Did you hear that person's last name? His name is Bum Killer. Do 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 do.
That's my boy.
So it's a day of silence where they actually just shut the island down. Like, you cannot go on the streets. Everyone is like sequestered into either their home or hotel. You can't leave. They have like an honor guard that patrols the streets.
This sounds terrifying.
Well, if they find you, they basically go, okay, you need to go back. Like, come on, we'll escort you back. You know, no big deal, but you need to go. You can't be on the streets.
This is some Wicker Man shit.
Right? Well, and so much so that they shut down the airport. Like, if you are there on that day, you ain't leaving. You are not leaving that island.
It's funny because you posted a picture that also looked a lot like the entrance to Jurassic Park. So now I'm just imagining you as little Dennis Nedry driving your little Jeep trying to get to the boat in time. While locals are creeping into your car, spitting acid in your face and trying to haggle with charges for you.
So that entryway, that was actually an entryway to the beach.
Oh, wow.
And there's like 6 of them up and down the little, like, seawall.
It was pretty cool, the photo. For people who couldn't see John's photos, John had a photo of a huge construction that it really does look like the entrance to Jurassic Park. I wasn't kidding. It doesn't have a door in it, but it had like a... Did it have a door in it, or was it just like a
No,
big...
it was just an entryway. And those kind of entryways are everywhere on that island. They're all over the place.
You don't see enough stuff like that, you know, like big fancy... Like, when I was a kid, there was a road when I lived on an island in Scotland where you could drive through a whale's jawbone.
No, that's kind of neat.
And then you get to a mainland, normal, everyday country, and you're like, oh, there's nothing to, like... There's no just big shit to drive through and walk through. You know what I mean? You don't really get that in normal, everyday life as much as you should, I think.
Right. And that's another thing I should say. Like, everywhere I went, and I think this goes to the culture and the historical culture of the people on the island, everything there had more of a sense of like artistic expression more so than like function. Like all the sidewalks were all done, like every sidewalk I went to was these red brick sidewalks that every interval, I don't know exactly how far apart they were, but it was equal distance, were like these tiled designs, like bathroom tile designs in the sidewalk.
Well, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it was really nice to see, but you can also see how they did not consider function about them because a lot of them were just cracked and broken because people are just walking on them all the time.
Yeah, but the cracks and things like that can also look kind of decorative. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It had its own little appeal to it. And
we got a bridge over here past this tree.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on over in this town.
We should also be looking behind us because.
Right. So yeah, that was kind of cool. So anyway, when I'm talking about this Nieppe Day, there's a lot of stuff going on leading up to it. Like in my pictures, you want to post that link again?
Okay, but if I get shot while I'm doing it,
that's fine. I'll watch you. Owen's going to post a link to a photo gallery that I put together. To get to it, though, you have to open up a private browser. Incognito mode, in private mode, the Safari version of that, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's got John's photos in. They're pretty good. But yeah, try opening a private window and see if it works. Hello to Loose Corner and Sam Foreman, by the way. I don't know if I said hello already.
Yes.
Hi, how you doing?
So
you can see the Jurassic Park entrance here.
Mm-hmm. Like, that was very common. Like, I don't remember really seeing, like, any sort of just plain wall. Like, everything was either, like, carved or decorative, and it just, like, there's not a lot of just, like, blank walls. You know?
I'm going to look behind us, by the way, until the circle closes.
Yeah, I'm looking out as well. Into the town. Or the little depot or whatever this is. And, wow, there's only 15 people left? Holy shit.
We're doing okay. Maybe this will be win number 2. It won't be win number 2. Because whenever you get down to the last people now, it's always bloody lemming builders. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm going to actually try to harvest a little bit here.
Harvest? Oh, get some resources and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see someone. 350? 345?
Oh, shit.
Can you see them?
Yep, I see him.
They appear to be solo. I've got a pink assault rifle.
He might have seen me.
He's on the outside there, surely, right? Oh no, he's not.
No, he's holed himself in.
So here's the problem: do we move on and? Oh, he's going. He's on the move.
He's moving. He's moving. All right, let's see if he walks past us without noticing us, and we'll get him from behind. Oh shit!
Oh crap! I'm down.
Oh, I'm gonna be down too. I got nothing. Yeah.
Damn it! No.
Oh, they got us. They must have been on team. Yeah, they absolutely are on team. He was running decoy and got us.
Clever play.
Yeah. I'm just reading the chat here. So
Nah, YouTube shortens the link, but it doesn't actually put those dots in when you click through.
Wish I could find a better way to show you guys this. I thought this would work really well. If I would realized it wasn't going to work, I would have tried a different method.
Yeah, you want something a bit more public, like a Flickr or an Instagram, you know what I mean?
Right.
You idiot.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, I wanted to give him something where it was only that stuff. I didn't,
Oh yeah, because I'm sure your Instagram is just full of non-Bali photos.
There is. There's a lot of non-Bali stuff on my Instagram.
So set up a new Instagram, you clod.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I've missed this so much. It's good.
Yeah, I'm really loving it.
I really want that Dark Souls amiibo, but it's out of stock.
Here, I can actually do something, okay?
It's a total tangent, but I don't care. Have you seen that amiibo? It's great. I don't care even if you don't like Dark Souls. It's really nice.
Right? That's his name, Solaire?
Yeah. I love Dark Souls and I love amiibos, and that Dark Souls amiibo is great. But it keeps going out of stock. Every time I see it, I'm like, it's £12? It's out of stock. I keep thinking about buying it as well, just outright buying it. And then I'm like, no, I can't justify that. That's bad. Alright, should we do Dusty Depot again?
Sure.
You agreed. I'm dropping.
Oh, shit. Alright. I was trying to... I don't even really get how Instagram works a lot. I was gonna... I was going to try to share a post I made in Instagram with like 7 pictures, but I don't know how to get like a URL to it.
We sound so old. With the Instagram and the... Oh god, there's a lot of people coming for the old Dusty Depot today.
Oh, and I dropped late. I'm not gonna be there in time to help you.
I'm moving on.
I'm coming.
New strategy,
I'm
flee.
there, Owen. No, I've committed.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm doubling back. I'm blessing the rains down in Africa. Sorry, I said it, now it's in my head.
Fuck off!
Oh, well done, John. You're a credit to the team.
Me and this guy both went to a chest at the same time. Concussion grenades dropped and a gun dropped. Guess which one I got? Guess which one he got? Get him, Owen!
Hey!
Yeah!
Whew! Collect stuff, quick! Then run and hide. We're all gonna die.
Get the fucking shield potion, man!
I'm working on it, I'm working on it.
But, alright, so, some cool stuff I saw. So I had booked 2 tours when I went over there. Unfortunately, one of them got canceled on me.
Tiny Best Secret says, I didn't think that amiibo was out yet, like Detective Pikachu. No, it's out.
Yeah. So I I didn't get to go on one of my tours, which is sad because that means I didn't get to go see the monkey forest, which I really wanted to see.
Oh yeah, you were saying in advance that you want to see the monkey forest.
Yeah, and I had plans to. It was all set up, but it got canceled on me. And
so that wasn't that like that was like a pretty major thing you were looking forward to, right? The monkey forest.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
So in many ways, your whole holiday was kind of basically a failure, right?
So I went on this other tour though. So
I was thoroughly enjoying that moment as you realized why I was asking. It's great. It's what I live for.
No, it's. I'm glad you're.
Do you know why I can be so mean about this? Do you know why? Do you know why it's okay? Because you've had a really lovely time and I'm super jealous, and we both know it. All right, all right,
all right.
You idiot.
Yeah.
That's everyone else. It sounds so amazing.
Doesn't hurt. That doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. So yeah.
Next time you go on a holiday, I've decided I'm going to get myself a passport and I'm just going to, like, coincidentally book into the same destination and time as you, you know?
Hey, I would love to go on vacation with you. I think that'd be fun
not with
hell.
you. I'm just going to sort of coincidentally bump into you a few times, and then when we get back and you're like, it was amazing, it's wonderful, I'll be like, it was okay. Yeah, I saw that. It was alright.
Oh, you're going to be that guy. I'm already looking forward to this, because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get to work, I'm going to try to tell people about that, and what's immediately going to happen, I know it's going to happen. It's going to be like, yeah, I saw that. Oh, that sounds nice. But it's like when I went to this place and saw this, you know? That shit drives me insane when people do that.
Yeah. You mean like how I've been comparing it to when I lived on an island the whole time? No.
No, okay, so some other really cool stuff I saw on this tour, right? And the first thing I thought was really neat is I went to this town, and it was... I'm probably not describing it completely accurately, but just... This is the basic idea, right? This town is divided up into these different sections where one type of art is being produced.
Oh, right? That's interesting.
So all the woodworkers kind of live in one area. All the silversmiths all kind of are in one area. Painters... And then, within those areas, these families...
I'm just thinking about the poor guy who's born into the town of macaroni pitchers. No!
I was born into a macrame family.
I wanted to be a watercolor painter. No! Get your glitter, get your PVA glue, get your macaroni.
Knew we never should have opened up that new section of the city for spin art.
We're forming a new town. What shall our art form be? I don't know, magic sand sculptures? Alright.
Got it. So anyway, I went through all these different villages to see all these different art, and what's really neat is that within these areas, it was basically these families that have established like their own firms for it. So like everywhere I went were like these family-owned like woodworking like factories almost. Like that's a bad way to say it, but literally all they do is just carve wood all day, and they carve what they want. Like it's like, okay, well today I feel like I'm going to carve this, and everyone has their own style. It's just that everyone who's part of this family are wood carvers, and like everyone, like I went to this house where everyone inside were painters, and as you walk through, you can start to recognize the different styles and different technique and subject matter, but it was all this family, just by different members.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was really neat. And I saw silversmiths, I saw painters, woodworkers, and this stuff called batik, which is a type of fabric dyeing where what they'll do is they'll take a piece of fabric, draw out the design on it, and then go over the drawing with a wax.
Hello to all Chaos, by the way, who says, then Yankee Doodle comes along stealing their credit. But yeah, carry on. Sorry.
But they would go over the drawing with a wax, and then dye the fabric in a color, let it dry, then boil it so that the wax would come off, and then add wax to other parts of the fabric to then dye what was previously covered. So it was this constant process of adding wax, dyeing the fabric, removing the wax, adding wax again to another part, dyeing it again, and they did it like so many times where they make these incredibly intricate patterns where it looks like they had to have done this like 50, 60 times to get this design. And they did it on stuff like silk and very, very nice fabrics.
Tiny Beth Secret says, yeah, I did that in home ec class when I was 13. So, I'm sure she means it, but that's...
You are terrible people. All of you.
Well, I'm going to be cautious here. It's probably time for me to move on. I got 2 minutes. I'll wait till there's a minute down and then I'll go.
So yeah, I saw all this stuff and it was all so amazing. Like I bought a painting and I bought a wood sculpture. The wood sculpture was kind of funny because the guys explained to me like okay, well, here's the deal. We made this and we know that the U.S. Customs is kind of finicky. Oh, wow!
Damn it!
U.S. Customs is a little picky when it comes to things like wood, and
the drugs we built inside.
Well, okay, follow along here. All right, and he explains to me, he's like, okay, well, but we have a stamp. They issue a stamp that if we stamp the package, it basically says to the customs that this wood has been fumigated, it has no pests in it, it's not invasive. You're fine. So I buy this little sculpture, and they wrap it up, and they put the stamp on it and hand it to me. And the package looks like the most stereotypical package of drugs you have ever seen in a movie. All right, it's this little rectangle brick that's covered in brown paper, just taped all to hell. And I'm thinking, I'm like, well, good. It has the stamp on it, but it looks like a key of Coke. Like this isn't gonna end well for me, right? And yeah, when I got back to the U.S., I was going through customs. The guy pulls this out and goes, "What is this?" And I'm like, "That's a wooden sculpture." And he looks at me for a second and goes, "Yeah, all right." He's like, "Go on." I'm just like, well, that worked out well for me, but
the problem is, if that happened to me, the problem is I wouldn't be able to help it. The words, "It's about half a key of Coke," would be out before the truth, before I even thought about telling the truth. Do you know what I mean?
I'm absolutely sure, sir. When the guy wearing the uniform and the badge next to the German Shepherd with a gun at his waist, yeah, I'm sure that's when you're gonna want to start making jokes. So I'm sure you will. I believe you.
I would as well. Infamously, the year when I was in school, there was a school trip to America. I did not go on it.
Let's go to Wailing Wood.
But it was the history class trip to America, and I didn't go because I never went on school trips because we could never afford to go on them. But when they got back,
look, children, this was ours at one point.
Apparently, as they were going through customs,
and we're here to take it back.
One of the GCSE students, so he would have been about 15, thought it would be funny as he was walking through customs to say, "I've got a bomb." And therefore the whole...
No.
I don't think they ever believed he did have a bomb. But I'm fairly sure they like to discourage people from making jokes like that.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why they were there for 2 days out of their 10-day stay. And he was not allowed to go on any more school trips.
Gee, I can only imagine why. An idiot.
Whenever I would not really
UK.
make jokes around customs, but whenever I think of people doing it, I always think of, do you remember the Mr. Bean movie?
Yeah.
When he pretends to have the gun. My favorite bit about that's when the guy shouts, "Everyone get down!" and he gets down as well, and the lady goes, "Not you, sweetie." Just always makes me laugh. Mr. Bean movie is a terrible movie, but...
Oh yeah, it's really bad. I don't like Mr. Bean. Like, I don't particularly think that's all that funny.
The original ones aren't so bad in small doses, you know?
Right.
But as a film, it's too much. And the film makes no sense anyway, because the film has to change the character to make him film-worthy, too. So he has to, like, talk a lot more. And it's weird.
Right.
What's the point?
Right. So what other cool stuff I saw? Oh, okay, I saw the rice terraces.
Ooh, chest.
Now, okay, on the surface, when I say, "Oh, I saw where they grow rice," not very interesting. I admit to that. But
I do love those little moments that show to the world that I've essentially broken you.
No, I would have been like that normally. Don't give yourself so much credit. But to see these things, they are just beautiful. It was these terraces that have been there for just a really, really long time. That they built up because of irrigation reasons, because the water actually comes down from a mountain into the area. So they built these terraces where the water would come into the top layer, you know, and then fill up and pour over. So they can get more farming, you know, area. And it's just this like green, it looks almost like like if you imagined seeing the favelas in Rio, you know, you've seen like pictures of the favelas, right?
Yeah.
If they were all topiary. Yeah, it was really neat. And you know, it looks like a jungle, and it, you know, that's the bit that I thought looked like Jurassic Park. You know, that's really what it felt like to me. It was like okay, this is Jurassic Park to me.
Like
this jungle.
I've got a spike trap if that's of any use to you.
I'll take it.
There's a chest in here. Don't start destroying the ceiling yet. Oh, there's something in here. I saw a light glowing. Oh, shit.
Oh, god damn it.
What is it? Is anything good?
No, I can't see. You built the staircase and blocked me out.
Sorry, I fell. I'm behind you.
Okay. Oh, it's a hand cannon.
Oh, that's shit.
I'll take it.
Yeah, go for it. This ain't Destiny, boys.
So I saw that. That was really neat. What was kind of funny, though, if you see the pictures that I took of it, it looks like this, you know, beautiful, natural, like, wonder. But directly behind me is, like, an entire little town that they built up just for, like, tourism of the area. like it was like a paved road with all these built up buildings just for, like, housing, like, little cafes and souvenir shops and stuff like that, which was kind of funny. But what was also really interesting about it was, even though it's this big tourist attraction, it's still 100% functional and used. They still harvest rice out of it all the time. So, I thought that was kind of interesting.
No, it was. Sorry, I just did a little sidetrack by the game. Trying to watch behind us and look down into the Tomato Town too.
Yeah, I'm looking down in Tomato Town. I don't see much movement going on.
Tomato Town. You started to say it like a British person. Have you
I said Tomato Town.
You said Tomato Town.
No, I did. I said Tomato Town.
I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Why would I say it wrong?
Nice. Not going to be drawn into that. I'm a smart person. All right. Let's call the whole thing off.
Tomato. Yeah, it's just that kind of wraps up a lot of the sites I saw. There was just oh, okay, no, actually, there's one more place I went to. I went to this place called Tannin Lot that had it was these like a series of like small temples that they built out onto these rocky outcroppings into the ocean.
Oh God, what is this?
God, I'm getting shot at. Oh, they're coming.
I got him. I'm knocked him down.
South. Yeah, all right, I'm coming back up. I jumped down to save myself.
Do you have anybody with them?
I didn't see. I fell.
Shit!
I'm guessing yes.
Yes, they did. I'm down.
Oh shit! I don't see him. I don't see him.
Oh, they're up on the ridge.
Oh, I saw him.
Just stay alive. Just run.
Oh God! I want to take a shot at him.
I was pretty impressed with my aim there from long distance. It's like the only time I've ever killed someone from far away.
Well done.
He was watching behind us. What I should have done is left the pieces as bait, you know?
Alright, so I went to this temple, and it was a really neat temple, and it was really neat. It was one of those things where you could only go so far. They wouldn't let you go any further unless you were actually there. Like,
yeah, well, that's fair enough.
Yeah. But it was the one time I kind of let the language thing kind of get to me, and I couldn't help but giggle because my tour guide, my tour guide was amazing. His name is a Goose, and I still mean to go on to TripAdvisor and leave him a really good review because he asked me to, and I'd like to do that because I guess over there TripAdvisor is king. Like they post like their rankings on like all the walls and everything. Like, oh, we're rated this by TripAdvisor. So I do want to go give him a good review, but he gets there and we're walking around and he's like, oh, do you want to go to the cave and see the holy snake? I'm like, pardon?
Well, I mean, I'm in a foreign country. I'm vulnerable right now.
All right, let's go Tilted Towers. Let's give
sure,
it a
let's
go.
do it. Should we make this our last game?
One of the last ones. Yeah.
All right.
Are you ready to end?
Well, we're getting towards 2 hours. It's always a good time to.
Okay. Yep.
It's up to you.
So I was like,
I don't mind.
So finally, I'm like, oh, no, yeah, let's go. Let's go see the holy snake. And it was really cool, actually. Like, I don't have any like fear of snakes. So
we're gonna need
really
some level of explanation of holy snake, I think.
It was this not even a very large snake. It was I don't know, maybe like, oh shit. It was like a 3-foot long snake, and it was like a black and blue. It was black with like blue stripes and stuff like that. And
I got my kill.
Nice. I haven't found a weapon yet. But what's kind of cool about it, and he explains to me, is that they basically pick a snake when it's born, and they deem that the holy snake, and it lives in a cave. Oh, fuck off. And it lives in a cave. Oh, fuck off. Where is this guy? Oh, Jesus, there he is.
You found him!
Yeah. But they was in the cave, and basically what it is, he explains, he's like, this is the temple's security system. Like, they deem this thing the Holy Snake, and it's supposed to ward off evil spirits and stuff like. And like I said, I'm a cynic, so I don't believe in evil spirits. But it was kind of neat to see something like that in a concrete example. And I was actually seeing a lot of this ceremony and seeing how people
oh damn it
and see how people interact with their faith. It was kind of it wasn't enough to make me oh, I'm gonna convert or anything like that, or I now believe, but it was enough to kind of make me feel just a little melancholy that there wasn't something in my life that I kind of believed like that, because it felt like they all saw it as a very enriching part of their life.
Send your holy snakes for Jonathan to P.O. Box 359 at Wisconsin.
You get what I mean? I felt like everyone very much
yeah, you've got holy snake envy.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Owen! I'm trying to make a point here, something poignant.
I'm trying to make a point too.
Basically, what I'm saying is that, unlike most of examples of faith that I'm used to, this felt very much like it didn't dictate people's lives; it enhanced for them.
Let's do this place. I can't read it on my tiny TV. It's quite far.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not. Oh, Lonely Lodge. Okay. Granted, no, I'm not suddenly a believer or anything like that. It was just kind of one of those things where it was very nice to see people's faith and beliefs coexist with each other. That doesn't.
Yeah, that sounds quite
like
nice.
It's intrusive in any way. And it led to some really cool things, like leading up to that day I keep talking about, that Niepe. Every village builds these statues, and these are intense statues. They are all very much works of art, and every village builds one, and then after Niepe, the Day of Silence, everyone goes to the beaches around the island. The entire circumvention of the island, or circumference, excuse me. And they take these statues there and just burn them. Oh Jesus! Who took a shot? Oh, fuck off! Yeah, fuck you. Got one.
Where are you?
I'm way up the tower.
Is the person still around?
No, I killed him.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm coming up the tower.
Alright. There's nothing up here.
There's a chest right there.
Oh, okay. Mine. Just...
Do you want that shield potion? I've already got one.
Yeah.
Someone's coming.
Oh God! Damn it.
How much health does that person have?
Right. Alright, I'll return to the lobby. We can start wrapping up. So, I guess...
Let's do one more game.
Okay.
I'm in the mood now.
So, I'll kind of wrap up my Bali talk.
Finally! Jesus. Didn't even get to talk about all the great shit I've been doing. I watched Civil War, which I've already seen, and a film at the cinema that was okay. didn't even get to any of my topics, John, just because you had some spiritual experience in a faraway magical land.
Yeah,
God! No, I'm glad you had a lovely time. It sounds absolutely amazing.
No.
I haven't done anything that could even remotely compare to it.
And that's what I kind of wanted to get at. Like, this was...
That's what I wanted to get at. Your life sucks,
Owen's
Owen.
life sucks. My life is so much better than Owen's. All right, I hope you guys have been picking up on this. All right, I've been really trying to get it across.
I love you too.
Yeah.
All right, you pick.
Like for me, this was the first time I've ever traveled. Let's go to Lucky Landing. Let's go all the way to the end.
Let's do it.
This was the first time I ever went to a foreign country. The first time I ever left country. This is by far the farthest trip I ever took. Like I wasn't nervous while I was there, but the idea of going was kind of nerve-wracking, and I didn't know exactly what I was going to run into. And I'm really glad I did it though, because more so than having seen all the cool stuff I saw and touristy stuff and all those souvenirs I bought and the food, more so than that, it was an opportunity to meet and interact with just a different group of people that I didn't share like the cultural shorthand with,
right?
And more so, I was very much the outsider. I mean, more so than just I'm a American guy in a different country. Like I was as far as I could tell, and who I met and talked to, I was the only American there. A lot of Australians and a lot of like Dutch and Swiss and that kind of region, I guess, like Nordic.
Right.
Is that the right term? A lot of them, and of which there was one bartender I ran into who, for some reason, does not like the Dutch. We were just talking, and he's like, oh, Americans are great. I don't like the Dutch, though. I was like, what?
Maybe it was just a gold member reference.
Right?
Maybe that film just hit big in Bali.
Could be.
And that's like a meme there,
Yeah, Dutch. Okay. Oh, I hear some shooting. Are they shooting at you, Owen? I'm coming, Owen. I'm coming.
They are not shooting at me, but they were shooting at each other. Near me. They just got in here.
Oh.
Crap.
Oh, shit. Well done, sir. Oh, ow. Give me up. We're safe. No, they're coming. I can hear them.
Damn it.
Oh.
What kind of safe is that, John?
I changed. I said no, we're not safe.
You want to do another?
No, let's start wrapping
All
up
right.
here, actually.
So the ultimate question is, what did you think of the ocean?
Ocean was absolutely beautiful. It was... Now, here's the thing. I didn't have the moment of, awestruckness. And I think a lot of it has to do with I've been hearing about the ocean all my life, and people talk about it in these very grand ways, but I still never saw it until I was 30 years old, where all my cynicisms and things like that were, deeply ingrained in me. So
right.
I didn't have that. What I did have, though, was this, because it's so big, and I was just one dude on this island facing the ocean, I did have this sort of feeling where I related it to being just a dude on a planet in the universe.
Right.
And that was kind of nice. I just kind of sat there and looked out in the ocean for about a half hour, just kind of thinking about, like, if I were to walk out into that ocean, let the water cover my head, and then get washed under, like, I would never be found, and my existence would just cease to be without any sort of closure in terms of my
God,
remains.
you're fucking cheery on a holiday, aren't you?
Okay, but get what I'm saying. And I kind of felt the same way about Earth, how Earth is just currently coasting through the universe, waiting for its turn to be swallowed
Now you can see
up
why
by
they
something.
need so much faith as part of their everyday lives in Bali. So is this the first time you sort of stood on a beach and felt the waves come in and pull against your feet and things like that?
Yep, absolutely.
See, I guess I'm kind of the opposite. I grew up on an island, so for me that's all very, like...
Here we go again. Owen trying to relate to
No, I'm just saying...
experience. No,
I'm just saying I can't bring up the same sense of wonder about that, I think. You know? Like, I literally used to live... It was a crappy beach, because you know how some beaches are lovely sand, and some beaches are pebbles? Huge fucking pebbles. But I grew up within walking distance. Like, not just within walking distance. I wasn't allowed to play out unsupervised one direction from my house because we were on the cliffside, right?
Right.
Overlooking a pebble beach. So if you just went down the road and round a corner, it was like 5 minutes. You were at the ocean. So it's kind of weird to me. Like, I could see the ocean from my bedroom window in 2 directions.
Wow.
So for me, it's strange to be so unfamiliar with it, but at the same time, it is kind of amazing, you know?
No, I really, really did enjoy the ocean. Like I said, more so for that kind of existentialist feeling I got from it. And then, just kind of being out in the sun and being warm.
Well, it's a good country to see the ocean on first. Like, I will say that the one disadvantage to Scottish oceans is they're bloody cold.
Right. I did get stung by jellyfish, though, so...
Oh, nice. Yeah, they're awful. Where we used to live in Lewis, the tide would come right up against the cliffs, and it would make these... When the tide would go out, it would make these huge rock pools. And our little town of, say, 10 or so houses, in summer we'd all go out to the cliffside and we would actually... There was a rock pool the size of a swimming pool that would just bake in the sun, and the rocks would just get hot and the temperature would get up to kind of almost swimming pool temperature on a really nice day, and you could just go out there till the tide came out. You had to be quick when it started to come back in again, though, otherwise you would get washed away. It was not safe.
Right.
But yeah, we used to do that in the summer. It was lovely. I'd forgotten. I haven't thought about that in a long time.
So, I guess ultimately what I'd like to leave everyone with is, if you haven't had a chance to travel to a foreign country, an unfamiliar area, you should absolutely do it. Not just for the chance to see cool things, but I now really feel like I have become like an actual part of the world. Because, like, borders and separations of people and stuff are almost all arbitrary. They're just kind of there. They're imaginary.
Yeah, he's come back a hippie.
But
yeah, wouldn't it be cool, man, if there were, like...
Shut up!
No countries.
One world citizen. I don't adhere to your laws, man. No, I'm trying not to sound hippie about this. I understand it is a hippie concept.
No, I agree. I'm completely on board. I agree completely.
Like, I now definitely feel like I've made connections. I have spoken with people. I've shared my thoughts and feelings with other people from halfway around the globe, and so even if I only exist in like the back of their memory, like I now exist somewhere else other than here where I am.
Yeah.
And it's a kind of a really nice feeling to have, to know that somewhere else with a completely different climate, different scenery, different way of life, I am there somehow.
Aww.
And yeah, so I would suggest that if you guys have not had a chance to do it, give it a go.
It's a nice nose to go on. I think it sounds like an amazing trip, and I hope you had a really wonderful time.
And I'm already planning my next one. So.
Oh yeah, where are you gonna go? Bali again! Hey! What?
Don't get that is actually at the forefront of my mind. Like I'm thinking, like, oh man, just go back, and just go to a different
Just
part of the
move
island
there.
and try to. Oh, I won't lie. I had a moment over there where I started to look at like, are there casinos over here? And there's not on Bali. I think there's one.
Is that a pre-requirement for you? You'll only move where you can work at a casino?
Well, it'd be the easiest transfer experience over. Like, try to interview for that job.
Nah,
like,
go get one of those. Go get one of those painting houses and just paint all day.
Right?
Just day one, just a stick man. What buy my painting? What buy my painting? What buy a phone charger?
I just got one. 2 users, 2
When
owners.
you leave the island, come back, sell it back to me, and I'll sell it on to the next tourist that passes.
Right. It's like a chain letter. It's the Sisterhood of the Traveling Charger. No, I did actually look up to see if maybe I could pull this off, and no, not at this time. But no, the next place I'd like to see is Crete.
Fair enough.
So maybe this time next year I'll be talking about Crete.
And you're like, I'm done with this travel shit now. I saw Bali, I saw
No.
Crete, they're basically the same. The ocean here is the same.
I absolutely have, like, the bug now. People talk about, oh, you'll get the travel bug, you want to always go. And I do. I want to go see
I've always wanted to
everything.
travel
No.
the world, but I've never had a passport. Because my dad wouldn't go abroad when I was a kid. He was
get
all
one,
about the
Owen.
camping.
Like-
I know, but then you gotta pay for the holidays and my job and things.
Let me
life.
explain. Okay, here's the thing. Like, there are some places that you can travel to that are very expensive. Like, if I wanted to go to London, or if I wanted to go to Paris, or something like that, those are very expensive places to go. But there are some places that are incredibly cheap. My trip to Bali, by myself, I will admit this is by myself, alright? I imagine you'd go with Beth,
Nah,
but
I don't do this because I know she's watching.
for me to go for 6 nights at my hotel plus the round trip airfare cost me a little under $1,100 US. Alright? Which is not unreasonable. And then the money I spent there was $700 US. So altogether, I only spent $1,900.
So, if I want to go on holiday alongside but not with you, I've got to start planning for Crete. Is that what I gotta do?
Yep.
To make my parallel holiday come true. I'm not gonna tell you I'm
Meet up
doing
in
it.
Crete.
The goal is just to be in the same place as you at the same time and possibly bump it. Basically, it's a very expensive plan to snub you.
I wouldn't expect anything less from you. We'll have a...
Tiny Bad Secret in the chat
What?
says, you should have haggled more.
Yeah, I probably could have. Honestly, I really could have. And someone did explain to me the proper way to haggle there, and I did utilize it a couple times, but not as much as I could have. No, it was, yeah. If meet me in Crete just to snub me, but we'll share some tzatziki sauce or something. I don't know.
Nah, fuck you. I don't want you to ruin my holiday with your hippy-dippy nonsense. Having a good time in Crete without you, thanks. We have to do everything together, Jonathan.
You know, that's the reason I purposely went by myself. Everyone I knew was like, "Oh my god, you're going by yourself? Aren't you worried about?" You know, I'm like, "Nah, I'm not." And I also don't want to have to deal with other people's wants. Like, I don't want to have to, like, work into my schedule what I want to do and then what other people want to do. Very selfish, I'll admit. It's very selfish of me. But it was very much like, I don't want to have to, like, tag along with someone to something I don't 100% want to do.
So, that's very interesting. But, before we finish up, there is something I just want to mention.
Sure.
That Wolverine podcast is apparently live now.
Oh.
And we could talk about that next week. But,
sure.
I'm just looking it up, and it looks like it's part of something called Stitcher Premium. And I can't tell if that's to listen early, or if you actually have to pay to listen to this whole thing. And I'm telling you right now, and it looks like it is, if that's their method, that is not going to work.
No. God, no. Like, even Audible has kind of figured it out that they can't, like, charge people, like, full prices for books to get, because that's how it used to run. You used to be able to just buy books and listen to it. Now you can pay for a service, get your books, and they give you a free book every month, and you can cancel at any time, but you get to keep the books to listen to.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that, in my opinion, and I'm sure someone will come along and disagree with me for this, but a podcast that costs money to listen to isn't a podcast.
No, it's not.
My definition of a podcast is a free release thing, and then you use it to maybe promote your paid thing. But
right, it's supposed to be like a broadcast, you know?
Yeah.
Broad.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad about that. It sounds like you can get a trial with Stitcher and listen to the first 2 episodes for free, so maybe we should do that and talk about it next week, but making that a paid show is dumb.
Yes.
I'm also going to catch up with Jessica Jones as well.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to watch it at all. I wanted to. I didn't get a chance to talk about the horrors that it's flying, but...
But you were too busy watching The Trip.
Oh, God.
I liked The Trip. I thought it was okay for what it was.
Oh, I know it'd be really funny right now. Let's do more Michael Caine impressions.
Right, but the Michael Caine impressions themselves aren't supposed to be funny. You get that, right?
Yeah, I get it. It's just, it goes on for too long. Like, the gag that they're trying to go for doesn't land because it lasts for so long. So long. It's like 10 minutes of them just going... It's like, oh, shut up, shut up. Shut up.
I think editing it together into a movie makes no sense. I don't get that. Because for me...
God, that movie sucked.
For me, that is a very specific, like... That was a very, very specific joke, style of joke, setup, and tone for a 25-minute TV slot. You know what I mean? Even though there were 3 episodes. Right. So I don't get doing it as a movie. But I didn't think the show was that bad. I thought it was alright.
I think the problem with it really is that their characterizations don't go quite far enough.
Right.
Like, I'm not expecting like a slapstick comedy, but the idea of one guy who's just kind of miserable and the other guy who is not taking anything seriously, like that can be funny. That's been done before. Trains, planes, and automobiles. But you don't even have to go that far with it. You can just... But really what you get is just 2 people who are varying degrees of meh. And that's the conflict, is a difference between meh, and meh. That's it. That's like the whole fucking show, where it's just
There's
like...
a lot of British comedy like that, though.
Country sucks!
It goes for a vibe of sort of... But I think to a British audience and to us, there's a sense of recognition in that holding back and not saying what you really want to say sometimes. Do you know what I mean? And ending up having a very mundane experience as a result. Feels sometimes very true to life. You know what I mean?
You know what really probably threw me off is actually the description for it that was on my little airplane entertainment system, where it was like, this raucous comedy with a laugh a minute.
No, it's not that. No, it's a real feel bad. It's a real feel bad show. It's supposed to make you feel awkward and uncomfortable, but as a source of comedy. I quite liked it. Also, before we finish up, I have to just read this incredible tweet promoting the latest issue of Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Ninja Turtles, that is what they're called now. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Thanks to an unhealthy dose of Bane's venom, Donnie's about to show the Foot Clan the real meaning of overwhelming strength. Can I just say, overwhelming strength is not like something people just crack out as like...
Right.
You know, like, yeah, I'm going to show you the real meaning of overwhelming strength. And Bane's like, I didn't say that or anything. I said, I will break you. I'm going to show you the real meaning of break you.
It's like when you like wake up, you look outside, like, oh, there's that overwhelming strength again. All right.
I do love that panel that goes around from the first run of Batman / Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's Batman and Raphael, and Batman saying, this is Crime Alley, this is where my parents were murdered, and I made my commitment to justice. And Raphael's just there like a turtle, like, oh, fair enough.
Alright, real quick, we had some stuff in the chat.
Who cares?
Tiny Best Secret says, why Crete? Because Crete is another one of those places that you can get to fairly cheap, and I've done some looking at it, and it looks very, very lovely, and it's... once again, it's something that looks very different from what I'm used to, which is a major factor when I go places. Lutz Corner says, thanks for another amazing podcast. No problem. We do everything, Quinn. He also says, Lutz Corner also says, I have a question. What happens after the stream ends? Do you and John go your separate ways for the week? Yes, we refuse to speak to each other until we have to do this again. There is a deep-lying, simmering hatred between us, but we try to put it aside for the sake of the show and you folks. Other than that, we hate each other. No, we talk throughout the week. We message each other, and I show up on Owen's streams from time to time.
We actually get along much nicer when we're not streaming, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like we're playing an act or something.
Yeah. Don't blow the illusion.
Shit. All right. Well, did you get scripts done for next week?
No.
Fuck.
There's a great ventriloquist called Nina Conti, and she's got a little puppet called Monkey. Very funny ventriloquist. Not many ventriloquists can be described as very funny, but this one can. And there's a great little running thing she usually does first in the act, where she sets up the microphone, and then the monkey says, don't I get a microphone? She goes, no, you don't need one. Well, that ruins the illusion! Always makes me laugh.
All right. Lewis Carter says, hashtag Owen Hannums and Jonathan Cadotte exposed. I'm even peeking in my windows again.
Don't follow that hashtag, guys. It's not pretty.
Yeah. No. It's like, oh, God. It's like chewed up bubblegum and roast beef.
Which is which?
We'll leave that for the viewer to decide.
Right.
Vote 1 for roast beef, vote 2 for chewed up bubblegum. Alright. Wrap up here. Thank you all for watching. Those of you who made it through majority of my rambling about the beautiful island Bali, I appreciate you very much. Thank you, Owen, for listening yourself, for the most part. And, yeah, and then you'll tune in next week for a more normal episode where we're talking about all the pop culture stuff.
And possibly the first 2 episodes of this Wolverine podcast, if we remember.
Yes, possibly. Maybe some Jessica Jones, maybe some Wolverine, The Long Night, or whatever the fuck it's called. And
Yeah.
who else knows? We'll have some pop culture topics next week. Different video game. Hope maybe, I don't know. Fortnite's fun. But yeah, until next time, I've been one of your hosts, Jonathan Cadotte. And with me as always has been Owen Adams. Owen, where can they find you?
By going to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Owen Adams.
Nice. And you can follow me on Twitter, which is at John C. Person. Jon, letter C, Person. And any other content I make will be here on this channel, right here, not Biscuits. Which, just a tease coming up, I have another One Person's Take coming up on Thursday.
It's all about Bali,
And-
isn't it? Bali!
No, that one's not on Bali, but I will have a separate video all about Bali, and it will be a photo slide video, so you guys can possibly see what we've been talking about the whole time. And I'll talk you through it there. So please check those out when they drop, and check out all the other videos. So,
Yeah.
Until next time, have a good one.
Bye, guys!